Welcome, lovely viewers, to another exciting video. Hello and a warm welcome to our channel. Today, we're delving into Alex Carlile, Baron Carlile of Berriew. Lord Carlisle Alexander Charles Carlile, Baron Carlile of Berriew, born 12 February 1948, is a British barrister and crossbench member of the House of Lords. He was the Member of Parliament MP for Montgomeryshire from 1983 to 1997. In the next phase, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of early life and career and exploring its real-world applications. Alex Carlile, the son of Polish Jewish immigrants, was born in Reuben, Wrexham, Wales and brought up in Lancashire. He was educated at Epsom College and at King's College London, where he graduated in law in 1969. He was called to the bar by Gray's Inn in 1970 and became a Queen's Counsel QC at the early age of 36. Lord Carlile of Berriew is a company director and barrister, and former head of chambers of Foundry Chambers, London, a set of barristers' chambers. He defended Diana, Princess of Wales's butler, Paul Burrell, against charges that Burrell had stolen some of her estate's belongings. In 2001, he was appointed the Independent Reviewer of Terrorism Legislation. Carlile stood down as head of chambers at Bell Yard in March 2008. Carlile was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire CBE in the 2012 New Year Honours for services to national security law. In this section, we'll be exploring political career. Carlile stood unsuccessfully as a Liberal for East Flintshire at the general elections of February and October 1974. At the 1983 election, standing as a Liberal Democrat, he became the Member of Parliament for Montgomeryshire and held the seat until 1997. He also became the leader of his party in Wales. On 27 July 1999, he was created a life peer as Baron Carlile of Berriew in the county of Powys. Carlile sat as a Liberal Democrat peer until 2016, when he left the party, stating that he found himself at odds with its policies on many matters, including national security issues. It was reported that civil liberties, especially the Investigatory Powers Act 2016, were at the core of the disagreement. According to the Register of Lords Interests, Lord Carlile of Berriew was at various times a director of 5 Bell Yard Limited and the Winstay Group of agricultural feed manufacturers, agricultural goods merchants and fuel oil distributors, a deputy High Court judge, and a chairman of the Competition Appeals Tribunal. He was president of the Howard League for Penal Reform in. He is an honorary professor in the Universities of St Andrews and Swansea, and a Fellow of King's College London. He is an Honorary Doctor of Laws in the Universities of Swansea, South Wales, Chester, Manchester Metropolitan, and the Hungarian Institute of Criminology. Carlile is a co-director and co-owner of a strategy and political risks consultancy, SC Strategy Limited, with Sir John Scarlett, the former Chief of MI, and William Jessett CBE, former Director of Strategy at UK Ministry of Defence. In 2014, Carlile mounted a legal challenge to the UK travel ban on Miriam Rijvi, leader of the People's Mujahideen of Iran (MEK) and President-elect of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. The Supreme Court decided in favour of the UK government. In 2016, Carlile sat on the founding committee of National Opposition to Windforms and sponsored the launch event at the Houses of Parliament. Let's zoom in on penal reform and understand its implications. From 2006 to 2013, Carlile was president of the Howard League for Penal Reform. In 2006, he was chairman of the Carlisle Inquiry into the Use of Force on Children in Custody. In 2011, Lord Carlile held a follow-up hearing in the House of Lords. He put together an expert panel who gave both written and oral evidence. As we enter this new phase, let's analyze legislation from different angles and evaluate its significance. Carlile was the first Member of Parliament to campaign for the rights of transgender people. Lord Carlile acted from 2001 to 2011 as the UK's Independent Reviewer of Terrorism Legislation. He was succeeded by David Anderson QC. The Director of Liberty, Shami Chakrabarti, called Carlile's support for control orders disappointing in a February 2006 press release condemning the introduction of control orders by the Prevention of Terrorism Act 2005. In 2015, he joined with a cross-party group of peers to reintroduce the draft Communications Data Bill, known by its opponents as the Snoopers Charter. He was an independent reviewer on the 2015 assessment on paramilitary groups in Northern Ireland. He was vocal in his opposition to the UK coalition government's Legal Aid, Sentencing and Punishment of Offenders Bill, proposing many amendments. He was one of 5 lords who vehemently opposed the introduction of means testing for police advice to cover the cost of lawyers consulting suspects in police stations. A single moment of reflection leaves one open-mouthed at the absurdity of this proposal, he said. He was initially appointed to lead the independent review of the UK government's Prevent programme but resigned after a legal challenge was mounted against his appointment. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through personal life and its far-reaching implications. He lists his recreations as politics, theatre, food and football, and is a member of the Athenaeum Club. He is a lifelong supporter of English football club Burnley FC. He is a Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts, patron of the Security Institute, and patron previously chairman of the Chartered Security Professionals Registration Authority. He has 3 children by his first wife Frances and 9 grandchildren. He married his second wife, Alison Levitt KC, in December 2007. She was herself a barrister until her appointment as a circuit judge. She was created a life peer as Baroness Levitt in 2025. Carlile is a bencher of Gray's Inn. On 11 July 2018, Carlile, after being granted a visa, was refused entry to India at Indira Gandhi International Airport, where he was due to address a press conference in defense of jailed Bangladeshi politician Khaleda Zia and meet a human rights body. India's foreign ministry said his intended activity in India was incompatible with the purpose of his visit as mentioned in his visa application, though media reported the decision to refuse him entry was a political one to protect India-Bangladesh relations. Have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future videos? Let me know in the comments.